You know, I've never been a fall person, but Virginia is trying real hard to convert me. I apologize in advance for any hammering you might hear. We have a couple guys working on a leak in our roof at the moment, and I have a very short window to record this because in a little while I will be going to pick up my daughter from the bus stop because it's her first day of school. I mean, it's her first day of school. She's in 2nd grade, but still, she's growing up so fast. Anyway, I am back from my brief illness, which I talked about at the end of my last vlog, which for me was like a minute ago, but for you was probably a few weeks because these take me a while to edit and publish. But anyway, I am well again. I am rested, and I want to say that I'm ready to get back to this dress, but that would be a lie. I am going to work on it. I'm going to get it done this month. I just don't really like it. So I'm procrastinating. I want to dive into making this dress because I am excited about this one. And I really enjoyed working with the pattern when I made my light gray rayon blouse. So I do know that the dress will fit me, and that pattern was really nice to work with. Cannot say the same for this one. It's gonna be cute, right? It's gonna be a cute dress. I really hope so. I'm actually starting to feel like it's not even going to read 40s at all. I feel like the fabric I chose is a little too bright and a little too stylized in the florals. I don't think it's really a 40s print, which I don't think I bought it for that purpose originally. I just bought it because I liked it. And now I'm not even sure if it's me. I do like bright colors. I do like florals. I don't know. I'm having a lot of misgivings about this project. It just hasn't been going super well. It hasn't been fun. I want it to be over with, but I don't want to do the work to get there. It's a problem. Anyway, I should stop talking and start sewing, as always. Okay, here's where we are so far with the dress. I have the bodice put together, and also the bodice lining, and the skirt is also put together. So I've got these 3 pieces, and I just need to assemble them all. But first I'm trying on the bodice, just to show how it works. So the back has pieces that attach at the sides, and then they will fasten in the front with probably skirt hooks or something. And then the front goes over the top and ties in the back. So it's going to be a split side dress. So it will be adjustable, and I don't have to sew a zipper. Winning all around. And you know what, now that I'm trying it on, I think it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be cute. I don't know if it's gonna look 40s, but it's definitely summery, and now I'm actually looking forward to finishing in and wearing it. So here's how that looks laid out flat. This is the front neckline opening. The ties go around the back. So the back has these pieces attached that meet in the front. Then this goes on over my head, and these ties wrap around in the back and tie in a bow, as you saw. This is my weird adjustment to the pattern. I don't know how clear it is in this drawing, but I added these here and these ties, and then they tie in a bow. I'm making it up, and I think it's going to work. Now I just have to figure out how to attach the bodice lining at the neckline and also at the sleeve edges without turning it into a Mobius strip. So I'm not sure what happened here, but I somehow cut the lining smaller than the outer fabric at the neckline by quite a bit. Like, you can see how long this seam is on the outer fabric, because this is the interfacing. This is the one I want on the outside. And then this one with the seam is the lining. And this seam is so much shorter. It's like half as long. I really don't know what happened there. And I'm hoping that's not going to reveal other issues down the road. Guess we'll find out. Then an entire week went by, during which I either sewed nothing or recorded nothing. I'm not really sure, but I have no footage from that time. Then I spent 2 days working on a secret project that I am not ready to show publicly yet. And then I realized that the end of the month was fast approaching. Cue mild panic. There are only 2 days left in August, and I have not finished this dress or anything else on my list. And I do not want to film another monthly recap video where I have nothing to show for it. So I'm gonna push to finish this because deadline mode has kicked in. Also, I'm just really sick of looking at it sitting there unfinished, so this is now a spite project. Okay, when I left off with this dress, I was trying to figure out how to attach the bodice outer fabric to the bodice lining, and I think I have it figured out. I have sewn the neckline together and turned it right side out. And I just finished clipping the curve all the way down and pressing it, and now I am preparing to understitch on the lining side so that this will give me a nice crisp finished edge without the lining wanting to roll around to the outside. So hopefully I have the interfacing here on the midriff of the right side and this seam down the center of the midriff on the lining side. Now the seam was according to the pattern, but I really like the look of no seam on the midriff for the actual dress. And I also needed to give myself more space at the waist. And because I cut this right along the selvage, I was able to taper this seam from the 5/8 seam allowance at the point down to almost nothing at the lower edge. But I don't have to worry about that fraying out because it's the selvage edge. So when I was cutting out the second one, I just made that tapered adjustment on the pattern piece as I was cutting it along the fold. And I think I talked about how my two necklines were not matching up, so the seam allowance on one of them is much larger than the other, but I just matched them to where the point of the center front neckline matched up and did it that way. So I made it work, and I'm probably going to have to do something similar to the sleeve and side seams when I sew those together because they are also not wanting to match up. So I'm going to stitch the understitching on the lining side, and then I will turn everything inside out with one side of the whole side seam up to the sleeve, across the shoulder, down the other side of the sleeve, and the other side seam in one go, then turn that right side out again, and repeat those same steps on the other side. I don't know if this is making any sense at all, but I can picture it in my brain, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work. And then I can attach the skirt, and it will be done! Hooray! Okay, the understitching is done. It's doing what it's supposed to do. And I have gone ahead and pinned the sides with wrong sides together just to make sure all of my seams are matching up here and here. And so that I can trim away the excess where there is too much fabric. That way, when I flip them inside out, I can just match up the cut edges and sew, and then when I flip it back right side out, it should still match up. At least that's the theory I'm going with. So I've got just a little bit of extra overhang here, and then on the other side of the sleeve I have it on the other side. But I matched up the centers, the center front at the lower point of the neckline and at the bottom of the midriff. And then I did the same in the back neckline, and matched the points, well, sort of matched the points of the back. This is just very wonky. The whole thing is wonky. This fabric really likes to shift on me, and it's annoying. It's going to be very comfortable to wear, but it is not much fun to sew. I'm really not having a good time. Okay, moment of truth. And it totally worked. Okay. Yes, I have a fully lined side opening bodice with front midriff closure and back tie closure. That will get tied in a bow and be very pretty and easy to put on and comfortable. Okay, now I just need to understitch these side sleeve seams and attach it to the skirt, which will have to wait until tomorrow because it's almost time for me to go pick up my kids from school. Real quick try on for proof of concept. Oh, it's inside out. That's better. Okay. This will get hooked to the front and then tied on in the back. Yep, that'll work. So I found some extra time to sew last night, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna finish this dress. And I sewed the front bodice to the skirt, and then I realized that this would leave me with a raw seam on the inside because I sewed both the outer fabric and the lining of the bodice together. And I should have left the lining free so that I could turn under that seam allowance and tack it down to cover this seam, because I'm not lining the skirt. It doesn't need it. This fabric is plenty opaque. This dress just continues to vex me. So I stopped sewing for the night. I went inside and watched some TV with my husband, and while I was doing that, I seam ripped the basting stitches I had put in to attach the lining to the outer fabric. And now my plan is to just fold the lining seam allowance down out of the way and stitch right along the edge just above the stitching line that is currently holding the skirt to both bodice pieces. And then I will be able to unpick that first line of stitching, remove the lining without losing the stitching that's holding the skirt on, because I don't want to repin this. It was kind of a pain to do it the first time, and I still have to do it on the back, and I'm just trying to avoid extra work because I am so sick of sewing this dress. I was so sick of it, in fact, that I did not film the rest of the sewing at all. But I fixed the front skirt, attached the back skirt, and hemmed it in the next 4 hours. Well, the dress is done. And I have to admit, I do love it. I hated working on it the entire time, but I do love the finished product. It came out the way I wanted it to. It fits my vision. The alterations I made so that it is size adjustable and has pockets worked. It could have been executed better. The inside pocket only comes to here, and I should really have made it come to like at least here, just so that there's no concern about, you know, anything showing underneath. But it's fine. It does work, and it's kind of a shame because I don't think I'm ever going to use this pattern again. I just really disliked making the dress, and it's possible I would dislike it less with a less slippery, slinky fabric. The fabric's not slinky, it's shifty, very shifty fabric. So it's possible with like a cotton that has more substance and stability, it would be less super annoying to work with. But I actually think this fabric, the drapiness of it, lends itself to this style of dress really well, and I wouldn't like it in a cotton, I don't think. So, I don't know. At least I have a dress. It is very comfortable, and it fits, and I can check it off my list. That's all I've got right now. I wish I felt better about finishing it. I don't even really feel relieved. I'm annoyed that it took so long. I cut this out over a year ago. Might have been 2 years. I don't remember. But it is done, and I can wrap up this vlog here and say goodbye until September. I am sorely tempted to speed through making another dress tonight, just so I can have 2 things finished for this vlog. You know what? I have an hour. Let's see how far I can get. Okay, so I chose this dress to do next for a couple of reasons. 1, I'm really excited to have it. 2, this pattern went really well together the first time I made it when I did the gray rayon blouse. And 3, I thought it would be quick. I don't know why I didn't realize this the first time. I just wasn't paying attention, and for some reason assumed that this pattern was in my size. It is not. My bust is definitely closer to 38 at this point, so bust 34. That explains all of the issues I had when I was making this as a blouse. I did make it larger at the waist, and it did have enough room in the bust because of the gathered, you know, scoop neckline. So that wasn't an issue, but the waist was definitely too small, and that's why I ended up taking out the pleats, the tucks at the back where they were supposed to be at the waist. So now a couple of things are happening. I am trying to make this dress actually in my size, so I'm going to make all the pattern pieces bigger. Oh, that also explains why the sleeve was so tight, because it was for a size 16. So I am trying to make the dress in my size, but also, you guessed it, I don't want to sew a zipper. And I have this pattern, which is the one I used for my red maternity dress with the daisies on it. And that does fit great. Of course, this is a size 18 pattern, so that helps. But also, it's adjustable for maternity, and it does so with the help of these adjustable gathered waist ties. So essentially, you've got 2 long belt pieces, and each of these belt pieces is attached internally on either side of this channel that you then pull the 2 long belt pieces from either end of the channel, and it draws both the bodice and skirt into these gathers, and then you can tie it around your waist. And I have always loved this function as a concept and in practice. It does make the dress very comfortable to wear, very easy to put on. But I want to do the same thing with this pattern, but in the back, because I want all those gathers to be at the back of the skirt, not in the front. So I am also trying to make those adjustments to this pattern to make the back skirt like the front skirt of this pattern. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see if I can pull it off. I should probably make new pattern pieces with the alterations I'm making for this to fit me, in case I ever want to make this dress again, which I probably will. But that would take more time. Ugh. I'm having another problem, which is I don't actually have enough fabric. I have exactly 3 yards, and that's just not enough to make the 3/4 length sleeve and also make the skirts the length that the pattern calls for. So I could either make the skirt shorter or make the short sleeve like I did for the gray rayon blouse. I wanted to do the longer sleeve just to have the dress be different from the blouse, but I think I might have to sacrifice the sleeve for the skirt length. I just wanted a quick dress to sew together. I should have picked something different. Well, I guess I'll end it here. It's the end of August. Technically tomorrow's the last day, but tomorrow's when I film my monthly recap video, so this will be the end of the vlog. I don't know why I thought I could just speed run through a new dress in 2 hours. Anyway, that's all for now, and I'll see you in September. Bye! Now I just have to figure out how... Another week... I can't talk. To the skirt. Okay, you can't see that at all.